That's all right. He'll see. Goodbye at the end, I'm sure. Say hi to your friend. You can pet him. Appreciate the attention. It's very emotionally needy.
We ready? All right, let's go, sir. All right, thanks for coming again today. 11 days to go. And then the people of New York City will pick the next mayor. Not the billionaires, not the influencers, not the insiders. The people. That's what democracy is about. And so tomorrow, I put the last nail in the coffin of this desire to play the dropout game. Because every day that Andrew Cuomo talks about, I should drop out, is a great day for Zohran Mamdani because he doesn't have to talk about the issue, but talk about something that's not going to happen. So tomorrow at 10 o'clock, I and Nancy, my wife, will be at our voting location for early voting. I'm suggesting to everybody, no matter who you're voting for, you take advantage of early voting, you get out and vote. 10 a.m. we will walk into the Museum of Natural History, which is the early voting location, and I'll be voting for myself straight down the Republican line. Now, I know that probably won't end this nonsensical discussion of dropping out, but if you can't realize by then that I've actually voted, exercised the right that people have died in battle to preserve along with free speech, well, then you're never going to realize it. This is people power. This is not the power of billionaires and insiders. And yesterday, that was brought home to all of us when we saw the two corrupt birds who fly together, Eric Adams and Andrew Cuomo. And I heard them talking about family. Oh, we're family. I said, could this be the sixth family of organized crime that has just come together? The Adams-Cuomo crime family. I mean, these two, between them, have had more indictments of their own personnel. Cuomo, 9 indicted Cuomoites, led by Joe Percoco, Buffalo Billions. Joe Percoco was best known for saying, how many boxes of ziti are you going to send me? From the executive wing of Cuomo's governor's office, he's making these shakedown calls of people doing business with the state during the Buffalo Billions. Each box of ziti is worth $1,000. The guy hopelessly corrupt. In the governor's office, he was doing it. And Cuomo acted like he didn't know anything. 9. And then we see Eric Adams. Eric Adams obviously indicted himself, saved by the Department of Justice, or he would have been a cellmate of Gobar's Bobby Menendez in some federal prison. He should have been. Think about that. All the people in his administration indicted. Eric Holder, Ingrid Lewis-Martin. We could go right on down the list. They almost match. That's why I call it now the Adams-Cuomo crime family. 6th crime family of organized crime. Coming together as they said, family. And the guy carrying the booster bag from billionaire to billionaire to collect the money, Frank Carone, who's gone back and forth, Cuomo, Adams. Again, I ask anybody in the press, on the night after, Cuomo lost and tossed the towel in June 24th and got beaten soundly by Zohran Mamdani, who was 1% in the polls at the end of February. Cuomo was at 40%.
Please subscribe.
They went to the real estate board, real estate industry, and admitted they raised $1.5 million in one night. Carone and Adams. Show me the money. Where is it? No investigation. You're investigating me for everything because I won't accede to the billionaire's desire to drop out after they tried to bribe me. So, question is, why is nobody asking where is the $1.5 million? They raised it. And we know that Winnie Greco is probably walking around with potato chip bags, giving it out as bribes herself. So that's it. 11 days to go. I go into the subway where people actually yesterday were questioning whether I campaign in the subway. You may not like me, you may not want to vote for me, but I think everybody knows if you want to find Colonel Sliwa, you generally look in the subway. So tomorrow, hopefully you can attend 10 o'clock, Museum of Natural History, watch me cast my vote, and end this discussion of dropping out, because it ain't happening. Democracy will prevail. The people will vote their next choice to be the mayor of New York City.
Quick question, sir. Half of Zohran's Mamdani support come from young New Yorkers. What would be your message to young New Yorkers?
Well, I spent a lot of time campaigning in the areas that he beat Cuomo decisively. So what they call Astoria, the People's Republic of Astoria, they deemed it that in Athens Park, Long Island City, Brooklyn Heights, Carroll Gardens, the Slope, Sunset Park, Ridgewood. And what I say to them, because, you know, it's a conclusion that people think that millennials and Gen Zers are all Zohranistas. They're not. Most of them tend, on a regular basis, not to vote, not to get involved in politics, or if they do, they register as independents, which I'm doing very well with. So I go up, I discuss the issues. Some are fans of Zohran, some are fans of me. I have yet to find a millennial or a Gen Z who's a fan of Andrew Cuomo, especially if they're young ladies, 30 and less, because he loves to flirt with them.
What would be your warning to young New Yorkers?
Oh, well, it's simple. It's to try to keep them here. I propose giving them a holiday on income tax, especially if they've gone to school here in New York. They would have had to have gone to school here in New York, graduated in New York, they're living in New York from 18 to 29. They don't have to pay income tax, because once they have acquired that skill level that the tech industry wants and the other industries wants, they are being lured away like everybody else, like cops get lured away and get recruited. And so the idea is to help you stay here. My whole campaign is improve, don't move.
You called him an arsonist a few days ago with the comments you made in the past. Can you expand a bit on that? Why did you use that?
You're referring to Zohran. Yeah, Zohran, clearly, his rhetoric is like that of an arsonist who spreads what has already been said and continues to be said that's anti-Semitic. Now he wants people to suddenly say, well, when I'm mayor, I'll be the firefighter. He's had enough time since he was in the primary and he beat Cuomo, and now he's in the general election to clear that slate. I don't think he has, but it'll be up to the voters to decide if he has or not. For me, he has not.
You told us about Cuomo walking around with Mamdani about 9/11.
Which comments are those?
That about what happened if he was in charge of the time that no 9/11 happened.
Those were the ones made on WABC, right? I don't listen to WABC. I'm not involved with WABC. The other day I said I will never walk into WABC again because they stabbed me in the back over and over. So on this one, I really don't know what they said.
So, do you feel as if you're being underestimated in this entire race?
Do I feel that I'm being underestimated in this entire race? Absolutely. Look, I have 13 headquarters throughout the outer boroughs of Manhattan. Who has headquarters? I don't see any Cuomo headquarters. I don't see any Zohran headquarters, although I see the Zohranista supporters, as my supporters go door to door to get out the vote, which is imperative if you expect to win. Door knocking, lit drops, door hangers, giving out literature to people, and most importantly, micro-targeting, making calls, text, email, snail mail. Cuomo didn't do it in the primary, admitted it, hasn't done it here. So look at the enthusiasm of my supporters. You saw that outside of the debate. And we had the most supporters who were outside of the debate, enthusiastic. I met with them afterwards and cheered them on. Where did Andrew Cuomo go? He left his supporters, didn't even have words with him, and went to his very dear friend Eric Adams and Jimmy Dolan, who, by the way, pays no property taxes in Madison Square Garden, I'm no friend of Jimmy Dolan, because when I become mayor, you're going to pay property taxes, $48 million a year. Adams gives him a pass on that. Cuomo gave him a pass on that. Every mayor's giving him a pass on that. No. Billionaire, pay your fair share.
So what is your true message to New Yorkers why they should vote for you?
It's clear. Law and order.
I don't know if you want me to-
You saw that on the stage, as I pointed out. That Cuomo was the architect of no cash bail. Zohran, the apprentice. That Cuomo was the architect of raise the age. And Zohran is the apprentice. By the way, my own son almost was killed in a vicious juvenile gang attack, in which those who assaulted him went to family court, not criminal court, pat on the wrist, out they go. And then lastly, the architect of closing Rikers Island was Cuomo first, over 10 years ago. We will close Rikers Island. His apprentice, Zohran Mamdani. No law and order between them. Chaos, more crime. With Curtis Sliwa, we return the quality of life, and we turn safety and civility to the streets of Silver.
What do you make of this event with AOC and Bernie Sanders on Sunday night? Mr. Mamdani will be with them in the stadium. What do you make of their presence?
Well, you know, that's what you do. You get out your vote. That's what I'll be doing. I think that's probably what Cuomo will be doing. And then they'll try to get their vote out. Hey, wow.
But Bernie Sanders and AOC being there, what message did they?
Hey, it's their right? AOC is a congresswoman. She's not my choice, but she's been elected by the people in the Bronx and Queens. By the way, did Joe Crowley ever run a race against her? He would have been Hakeem Jeffries now, on the cusp maybe of becoming speaker. He mailed it in, just like Cuomo mailed it in the primary. These old Democrats, they can't scrape the barnacles off their backside, get their rear in gear, and do good old-fashioned politicking. You got to be out there 20 hours of a 24-hour day. You can't be moaning and groaning to everybody that'll listen to you. Oh, I can't win unless Sliwa drops out. Imagine, this is what Cuomo said. If I'm a Cuomo supporter, and I'm already hearing Sliwa ad nauseum say he's not dropping out, and then I'm telling whatever loyal supporters he has, I'm sure he does, oh, I can't win unless Sliwa drops out. Well, why should I go out there and go door to door and try to convince people to vote for you when you're saying you can't win unless Sliwa drops out? And he said for the 9,852nd time, he ain't dropping out.
Arias, you know, the polls have shown Zohran kind of coasting to victory pretty easily. How are you feeling about the actual day of election? Are you feeling hopeful? Are you feeling like some of these numbers are incorrect that we're seeing in the polls? What are you expecting to see in the next meeting?
I've yet to see a poll that's been accurate. I mean, all during the primary, I was already a candidate, although the Republican, I was being told, hey, Sliwa, there's going to be a coronation of Cuomo as mayor. Why are you knocking yourself out? Hey, how did that turn out according to the polls? And before that, Trump-Harris, the night before, oh, it's neck and neck, could go either way. Next day, he wins the popular vote, he wins the battleground states, it's a total blowout for Trump. Why should I trust the polls that have yet to be right? I trust the people. And if I have the ability with my volunteers and my staff, many were millennial and Gen Zers themselves, to excite them, to get them out to vote starting tomorrow with early voting, then I'll be the winner. If Zohran does it, or Cuomo does it, then they'll be the winners. Polls don't win elections. People win elections.
But he's got quite a traction with young voters. I mean, that's pretty clear with his campaign on social media. It seems that the themes he's talking about, housing, also free buses. Like, it seems that it kind of resonated, is it not?
Wow, you're like a fait accompli. I guess you figure TikTok gets people to vote. No. TikTok entertains people. They share it. But you still got to get them to vote. And that's good old-fashioned retail politics. Now, in the 1960s, 80% of registered people voted. Locally, our mayoral turnouts have been dismal. They have precipitously dropped. 24% when I lost to Eric Adams in 2021. Now, I expect there to be a bump here. But let's see. It's up to the three to get their vote out. And I would just give advice for Andrew Cuomo with his other slacker at his side, Eric Adams now, that they actually stop complaining, talking about they're a family. It's not, everybody knows what that's code language for. And actually get out there and ride the subways and press the flesh and try to get their vote out. Now that they're the dynamic duo. All I know is if Adams and Cuomo are around, hold on to your pocketbooks, hold on to your wallets, because all they're going to do is try to shake you down for a political contribution.
Do you think you can win in the White House? How confident are you in win?
Oh, very hopeful. I'm very hopeful that I can win because I feel the energy.
Oops, sorry.
When I go into all the neighborhoods, that I have real support. Where do you see signs for any of the other candidates? Only Sliwa signs, all in the outer boroughs. They're everywhere. That means somebody had to be willing to put my sign on their lawn. That's a statement. That's like planting a flag. I'm voting for Sliwa. I don't see that for Cuomo. I see some of that for Zohran. But, hey, that is an indication of a lot of electrical support out there. And I think it was evidenced outside of the debate by my supporters who were enthusiastic, outnumbered the supporters for Zohran and Cuomo, and my performance on the stage. Because I knocked both of them out. Anybody could see that. I'd go after one, I'd go after the other, I'd go after both together. And I had content in terms of my platform issues. Them, I had half the time ask the moderators to stop them from fighting like little kids in the schoolyard because you couldn't even hear them, which was not good for those trying to make the decision of who they would vote for.
Yeah, the New York Post yesterday was pretty aggressive in trying to make a mountain out of a molehill with you spending all this money on Ubers, even though you didn't have a driver, so you probably spent less money. But then you called your bluff, actually showed that you were going on the subways. You also tried to indicate that you weren't really on the subways. So the question is, did the New York Post do their due diligence and say they actually got proof that you've been on the subways? And did they print any sort of correction or retraction or any note that you actually called your bluff?
No, look, that's all part of the political process. They kiss you, they smack you. They did that to Cuomo when every day, incessantly, they were telling Cuomo to drop out. Remember how we forget back on June 24th, Cuomo, you must drop out. They ran 3 editorials a day, you must drop out. Because he could have withdrawn from his independent line at a certain point, and he did. For him, that was the wisest decision he ever made. He had to listen to all the chattering billionaires. They wanted him out. They wanted Eric Adams to have a free path. And remember, there was the chorus just beginning, Curtis, you should drop out. For Eric Adams, the most corrupt mayor in the history of New York City, who should be in jail? No, 1,000 times.
Yes,
So the Post is free to editorialize, to write whatever they want. One thing people know about me, I ride the subways. The other candidates do not. I saw Zohran the other day venture out for a longer ride on the R. Some people greeted him. Some people said F you. Some people called him a Nazi. Hey, that's what they do. They do that to me. They do that to anybody. When has Andrew Cuomo been in the subway? Can you cite one time that he's been in the subway in this long campaign? He's afraid of what potential criticism. Now, will some people praise him? Of course. But that's what politics is about. You can't have a thin skin, and you can't just hang out in the suites. You got to get down into the streets and the subways. That's where the people are. All right. Well, thank you for coming. Remember,
Thank you.
tomorrow, early voting. Get the word out. I'll be the first to cast my vote.
Hey, you want to say goodbye, Curtis?
Into the coffin of this dropout nonsense, because it ain't happening.
Cool. Because usually there's some stuff. Thank you guys. Please subscribe to the YouTube. We got the dog today. Some people are asking where he was. His name is Name because he had no name for a year and a half. Picked him up off the street, and I have such a weird name, Dodge. So it's like, all right, I want.
Say one more time. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. Name.
Name.
Pretty easy. Name.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the interest. So Curtis is going to talk a little more with some people.
Yeah.
And we'll have the dog say goodbye to him.
We have armed security, NYC,
I never even had that after I got shot by the gambling.
Please subscribe, guys.
I'm not free in the street, which bothers me. This is the city I'm working in. Trying to kill me here. I'll die here. I'll be buried here. So I just don't understand. This heated anger. Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, look, people told me originally, you can't talk out about organized crime. How many people would just take the quote-unquote method and refuse to call out John Gotti Sr. and the Gambino crime family, which I did. And they said, they're going to kill you. They're going to kill you. Well, they almost did. And in this situation, try to bribe me first, right? I said, no, they're going to kill you. They're going to kill you. Watch your back. Look, they've tried every way, smear me, kill me, but it ain't going to work. The whole idea here is we're Americans.
Yes, sir.
People have a right to vote. They seem to feel like somehow people shouldn't make decisions that the billionaire class should. And I'm not about that. No, there were 7 offers. My wife listened to the last, and that's what she told me as an attorney. Man, you got to put everybody on what we call blast. That if you do it again, you will be taped, because this is a one-party state, and it will be brought to the authorities' attention, and it's not.
I differ with you on a lot of issues, but your presentation about your son, the violence and stuff, really, I'm sorry for that.
No, I warned all of them that I would reveal them, but I gave my word. And, you know, I said what you're doing is unethical, it's bribery, it could be criminal. No, these were people, obviously, known me over the years, were friends with the campaign, and never came to the but they were saying this to me, and the last conversation was, and I said no. They said, well, you know, Curtis, everybody has a price. What is your price? I said, I have no price. I'm trying to be the next mayor of the city. And that's what it is. It's in the First of all, I'm the people's candidate. I'm out with the people. Andrew Cuomo is with the insiders and the billionaires. And talk about ego. After what he did to all those elderly people and refusing to apologize, the simple I'm sorry because of his executive order during the lockdown and pandemic. The 13 women who charged him with sexual harassment, and he said they made it up and she come out, including a female state. This guy has such a large ego, you need a crane to get him in and out of it.
This is Sliwa. I think these people want to shake his hand.
Oh, cool.
These guys
What's
here.
the greater
this guy-
good? The greater good
Can I
is
get a
if
picture
people
with you?
make the decision. The bottom line.
We got a press conference.
There's one more. If you would seek nominations from there again.
What I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do from day to day other than campaign.
Do you ever see a situation when you're not running from there?
I've only run twice. Everybody has these notions I can run up there.
Thanks, guys.
Lisa Curtis walking in the subway.
My name?
Thanks, sit down, Nancy. Keep up the good work. All right, Curtis is gone. The other way. Cool. All right, we can walk now. I'll let you be free. And now he's excited to walk, so you need to see my shoe. What's going on? Well, I'm going to try to give a rundown. I'll also catch up with this little gremlin. So yeah, you know, Curtis is defiant, gave a good press conference. This is in the wake of Eric Adams endorsing Andrew Cuomo. He made a lot of points that the media really kind of missed. That enthusiasm primarily is strong. His enthusiasm, I think, is much stronger than Cuomo's, and that speaks volumes. It might present a much stronger showing than you would think come actual election day. Guys, please do subscribe, and please continue well, and now I'm just shooting the shit with you guys, but do watch in the future at 1 p.m. because we will be at the Zohran event, taking the dog too. He'll get to meet Curtis and Zohran in one day. And I don't think anybody really cares about Cuomo, so probably not doing anything with Cuomo. But we got some Zohran fans, we got some Curtis fans. So we'll be at a Zohran thing today. But I think things look stronger for Curtis than people think, and the enthusiasm, the enthusiasm numbers are indicative of that. And I've been involved in New York City politics really since 2009, so I've been involved in a lot of mayoral races. And I can guarantee you, minus people who won, for any losing Republican candidate, they haven't gotten nearly as much enthusiasm as Curtis Sliwa has gotten. You think of Nicole Malatinakis, you think of Joe Lhota, they did not get that kind of support. The fact that I'm getting 30,000 people to watch on a live stream, and then I'll get 6,000 people to watch Cuomo on a live stream, means that it seems like with the enthusiasm numbers and the people actually come out to vote, he'll probably land in second place. That's my guess. And he's the only one that's seen actual movements, actual positive movement in the polls. Zohran has been stagnant at 43 to 45%. Cuomo has been stagnant at 28%. Curtis went from 13% to 20%. So you really, it's interesting to go to these press conferences as an independent person and not, I used to work for the local TV news back in the day, hated it. But you see the difference and you see how aggressive they are with their narrative. And it's much less about presenting the truth, but really about getting your right horse in. And the New York Post, which is typically conservative, decided, well, they want Mamdani to lose, and therefore they're going to create all these scandals that don't actually exist. With hey, they got to. Well, you're all right. Nobody's gonna care. Whatever. It says no poop or pee, but come on, this is tailor made for pooping and peeing. What's the point of this if you're not gonna piss on it anyway? So yeah, you see them creating this manufactured outrage, if you will, or trying to. Man, fucked up. Although I'm happy I got fired for talking about Scientology. Who was a Scientologist in that 70s show, an actor who got found guilty of rape, sexual assault. But before, Lisa Marie Presley was a Scientologist, and I just simply remarked she was going to testify against Danny Matheson, despite the fact that she'd get a lot of blowback from the religion, which tends to punish people for speaking out. And then the Scientology guy furious, threatened my news station unless they fired me. And so then I got fired, but it's a good thing to happen because I got a nice audience and got some good press and got enough of an audience to barely get by, although they don't pay you anything. I make $28,000 a year for a full-time job, so it's not much of a loss. But anyway, so it's but you can see it from the inside, so I know a little bit of it from the inside, and it's a lot more narrative pushing than fact finding. And people try to say, well, these, especially if you're a mainstream journalist, that what they will say is, oh, everybody's accusations about us are vague in generalities, and they don't have any specifics. I go to the park, and they don't have any specifics, and none of this is accurate because they can't find anything. And this is a very specific thing that I found, that they're combing through the financials. He has a average spend on transportation as other candidates do, but you can see so there is no real, probably should not cross, oh well. So there is no real journalism anymore, at least in mainstream. I'm not hard right guys at all, but I think they've lost their respect for a lot of people. So this is kind of educational, eh? What the fuck is he talking about? I'm talking about Depends by Depends. I use Depends all the time when I shit myself. Gavin said, nice talking to you folks. Fuck Trump. Fuck ICE. I agree with that. Fuck BB. I agree with that. Good luck. Fuck folks. Good luck, folks. And by Depends. I wish they would change the law about being POTUS, says Ninja, so that you must hold elected office before you can be POTUS. That would be fair. Mostly non-elected officials have no clue what they are doing or how government works. Also, I already got banned from 2 MAGA live streams. I'm not MAGA. I'm the only live streamer that isn't left or right. I'm like the opposite of most. And then you but you can easily figure narratives that they push. I'm the opposite. I will tell you I support, but I'm actually the most subjective. So, you'll see me at Curtis events, you'll see me at Zohran events. I'm left libertarian. But so I will not ban you, my anti-MAGA friend. The person who has Asian characters as a name is not you don't have to be an NYC. Who the fuck says you have to be an NYC resident thank you. But who the fuck says you have to be a New York City resident to be on this stream? This stream is, you live in Antarctica. Trump's gonna butt rape Antarctica. But if you live there, you could be part of this stream. No, but you cannot do that. Sneered. No. There's one thing you cannot do, and it's spelling out the N-word. Not cool, guys. Not cool. You could call me a Uyghur. How about that? How about that? You could say Uyghur. We could talk about the Uyghurs in China and the oppression of the Uyghurs. We could talk about Kevin Federline and the oppression of the Uyghurs. I am MAGA, and I'm proud of it. Nothing wrong to be proud of being MAGA. There's a lot of MAGA fans on the stream. Covered a lot of Trump events. I'll be in Texas. I'll be covering the Ken Paxton election. That'll be interesting. So I'm all over the place too, although New York is my base. Proud of you, kiddo. Thank you. Nice achievement. How do you get into this damn park? He sees the squirrels. We have to go around if you want to chase the squirrels. I'm going to do it. Oh, Sigmalai. Oh. I make Asian noises, and that's his code for squirrels nearby. I'm a Dem, says Ninja. I have no problem with Republican/GOP. I just don't understand why people are diehard MAGA GOP. Yeah, anything that's like culty, I'm very wary of. It's like a red flag. We got people. Hey, chill. Here, let's not start shit. Let's not start no beef. There we go. Thank you. Almost finished. That's what my girlfriend says to me when she fakes it. Don't confuse MAGA with MIGA. I don't know what MIGA is. I can't believe there's still 160 people watching. I'm just talking out of my asshole right here, but glad you guys are having fun. Amy, nice to have you. Also, we need term limits, senators, and representatives to they are kings. Amen, Amy. Talk about not wanting king. Well, I got two people just watching me spew diarrhea of the mouth. I love it. Let's see what else people are talking about. Somebody says there's a person in Chinese characters. They're saying, okay. Gav Nice says, what the fuck is he talking about? We already talked about that. Vance will never be president. This is true. I'm pro Massey. Massey, Rand Paul would be my ticket. Let's start that shit. Vance would be worse than Donald dipshit. Yeah, because he's smarter. South Park episodes happen. Go to Vance. He's coming. Lewis says Sliwa is the only New Yorker running for mayor. He's the only true New Yorker the whole time. Cuomo moved out. Cuomo moved to Westchester. Zohran grew up not in New York, right? Zohran's an inspiration to me, though, because I'm 34 and I haven't done shit. And I barely had a job. I just lived off my parents' money, and maybe I could be mayor. That's kind of cool. If he could do it, so can I. Oh, that means there's squirrels nearby. He's getting excited. He missed them. He missed the squirrels. Oh, well. Chinese is such a hard language. Yeah, I can't speak it. Although I can sound like I speak it. Saying the words in such a different tone changes the whole. That's what I've heard. I worked at a campaign out in Chinatown. Americans can't go one day without thinking about politics. This is too, Trippa. I hate to say it, American pride. That's because we're smarter than y'all's. I remember I was in Canada, and I kept asking people what they thought about the election, what they thought about, like, oh, what do you think of Jagmeet Singh? And they're like, who's Jagmeet Singh? And I'm like, he's one of the major candidates running, and a bunch of people in Canada didn't know who Pierre Poilievre was. And then I realized I know more about Canadian politics than most Canadians. So yeah, we're smarter and we pay more attention. Guys, pay attention to your own local elections. America. I had no clue Cuomo was still trying to be mayor after he stepped down a few years ago, says Ninja. Just what he is. You know, it's interesting. Just somebody who's been involved in local politics explain how that all happened. Originally, everybody thought, all right, Adams is going to be challenged. It's going to be hard to knock him out, but we have a good chance of doing it. And they thought it'd have to be somebody with name recognition to be Adams. People didn't realize how vulnerable Adams was. People didn't realize that like some asshole idiot could beat Adams. Like it really wouldn't be that hard. And then so what happened is Cuomo came in looking for another opportunity. Feels like he could build up his resume, go back to the governor's mansion, run for president. Because that's why he wrote the book. He wrote the book to run for president. The book about how, you know, forgetting how he killed all these seniors. But that's what it was. And the left originally was going to be, I remember when Zohran announced, I raised an eyebrow. I was like, oh, Zohran's running. Yeah, you might get some traction. And originally it was like Zohran, a few other people. And it was like the left was too split because Zohran had like maybe 4%, and then a woman named Jessica Ramos had maybe 3%, and Brad Lander had 5%. And what happened is they didn't coalesce around one person until very late, and then Zohran was able to do it. But that's why Cuomo sort of jumped in, and people thought all these people were too hard left. So initially, everybody thought that might be worth 40% of the vote. He's not. He polls in the primary. He's polling at 10%. Ninja, I'm in Texas. We have a lot going on here. So hard to keep up with New York local news. Well, Ninja, hey, maybe we'll meet. Shoot me an email, dodge.landisman@gmail.com. I say that because I will spend, I will spend 2 months in Texas covering the primary. Because you want to follow, some of this is tactical, right? And I like who I follow generally. But you got to follow candidates to generate social media buzz. So we will be covering the Texas Senate primary. And so the dog loves, he's a big Texas fan. If you want to ask the dog what place has better food, he's going to say Texas each and every time. He loves the brisket from Austin. He loves the seafood from Houston. Loves a lot of shit. So we'll be in we'll be in Texas for a while. We'll be covering James Tellerico, who's gotten a lot of social media buzz. He's very different than Zohran. He's not hard left at all. And we'll be covering Crazy Ken Paxton. And we'll probably go to a John Cornyn rally. And we'll also go to a Wesley Hunt rally. I think Wesley Hunt seems to have some enthusiasm and support. He's an African-American GOP congressman. I think Hunt is a better choice than Paxton because if you're a MAGA person, because Paxton's so corrupt. Good morning from Tennessee. Hey, legend. Nice to have you. We'll be in Tennessee too, but we'll just be passing through. We'll probably stop in Franklin and Nashville and Memphis and Bristol and a few places. I doubt New York City is more dangerous than St. Louis. It is not. I've been to St. Louis. St. Louis is great. It's very cheap. You could rent a whole brownstone on Airbnb for $70 a night. Was it more dangerous? Yeah. Did I feel like it was more dangerous? No, I didn't feel more in danger. Big story this week, mom abandoning a baby girl in Penn Station, Dodge. Thank you, Amy. Wow, screenshot that. I do cover court stuff. That's mainly what I do. You stalking this squirrel. Oh. Please do subscribe, guys. Oh, just south of Austin. Well, hey, shoot me an email. We'll be in Austin for a while. If you give me some good recs, too. I know the best brisket is, there's a black family barbecue. There's the Dueling Blacks. But Arthur Blacks has the best one. Legend, nice. I just got back from Memphis. Good choice. Yeah, so me and the dog, we're on the road usually 8 months a year. We spent 8 months a year traveling the country. And then I'm at my mom's house in Putnam County, which I don't have to pay for rent, which is nice, obviously. And she's in Europe, so I have the house to myself. But it's like an hour and a half from here. So it's a schlep to get back and forth, but it's been nice to stay at her place while all the New York City stuff happens. So where we are, it depends on what news there is to cover. Man, I'm lonely. I feel you. Well, if you give me a super chat, I could prostitute myself. Parts of New York City is really dangerous. It only takes a $30 super chat to do that. Blacks is really good. Good choice. Yeah, great minds think alike. Oh, cool. I'm not far from Franklin. Hey, shoot me an email. See, I'll hang out. Unlike the mainstream reporters who think they're too good for y'all, I'll hang out with you. Send me an email, dodge.landisman@gmail.com. Well, have a good time. Just shooting the shit. We have mayoral nightmares happening. Yeah, it's kind of nightmarish, isn't it? I wish Zohran luck. I think he's going to win. I think Curtis is going to do better than expected. I have no clue. Yeah, we talked about that. Massey is based. Agree. Vance is a Palantir plant. Word. Facts, who also released the Graham Plattner stuff. We will also be in Maine in June to cover Graham Plattner. And I'll give some of my analysis. Again, it's interesting being, like, knowing how they operate, being in the local media, and really understanding, like, mainstream media are not truth pursuers, they are order followers. Mainstream media exists and get paid to further the narrative of a bigger conglomerate or bigger interest. That is what they do. Now, on a very hyper local level, you could do good work. Oh, cool, a restaurant opened, or, you know, we're feeding the hungry kids, and here's the hero of the week. And those are genuinely good stories. But any election stuff, any political stuff, you know, they don't like losing access to people, which is dumb, because who gives a shit if they're corrupt? Like, if you're not going to, you know, if they throw you out for asking them, why are you corrupt? Then why do you want to ask them? Because, if, like, you just know they're lying. And a lot of media people are so obsessed with having that one person appear at their press conference, or being able to attend that one person's press conference, or being able to get an interview. Who cares? Arkansas case is very interesting. Dodge will meet you. Yes, I met Dodge. I wish I had more time, Amy. Amy, I'll be in Newark for a rally with Mickey Sherrill and Obama. But I think Newark might be too far south. But I will be in Newark in like a week. I'll spend a whole week in Newark, Amy. So maybe I could drive up to you. Because I can't afford to stay in New York City. Fuck no. Besides living here, my 2 sons are NYPD. You cannot believe the news that is depressed. That's interesting. So what are your NYC girl? What do your 2 sons think about the election? Are they nervous about Zohran, or do they think they'll be able to work with him? Lord knows they give it back to de Blasio. I'm in Texas. We have a lot going on here. Read that. All right, guys. We're going to wind down relatively soon. What the fuck is he talking about? We talked about what the fuck I was talking about. What's your mom talking about? Guys, please do subscribe, even though I only 62 people are watching. Nobody likes me. Nobody gives a shit. Fuck Netanyahu. Word. Name it Sir Dodge. That is us. Polly Walnuts. He does kind of sound like Polly Walnuts. You ain't wrong. Cool. I was shot 5 times and have Crohn's. Nice. That'll get you Crohn's. Who the fuck is he? It's Curtis Sliwa. He's queer. Somebody says he's not queer. But I'm queer. I'm here to get used to it. I'm not queer. But I wish I was. I'd have an easier dating life. Dump Trump. Cool. Politics is chaotic. Am I right? Very right. That's why it's so fun. I'm now here versus anywhere else. Go away, you know. Bitch, you go away. Eric Adams is a bad idea. Wish I could fart on live stream, but I can't because I fart in response to that woman. Are y'all from the U.S.? Yes. Do the right thing and let Cuomo have a chance. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Well, damn, he's walking the talk then. He is walking the talk. I'm related to the Rhodes family. Cool. Through marriage and boards by blood. Very bougie. I love it. I hate what they did, but it shouldn't prevent me from running for office. Yeah, fair. Fair. Hey, you got some of that, but wait a little second. I'll get you some of that too. Here. Chill, stop. He gets the water after that. Voting machines are fixed. Who's Sliwa? That's a good question. Is Sliwa guy? All right, you guys will figure it out. Hey, come. Hey, you want some water? There you go. Here, look. There you go. This is needed. He's got a drinking problem. He's really got a drinking problem. He needs to seek help, but he hasn't thought about doing that yet. You're a drunk. Still love you. Even though you have problems, you can't take care of your family. You can't even drive, dude, because you drink so much. Alright. Are you happy? Cool. Cool story. Sorry, guys, I get water. I'm always thirsty. We're a dog fountain. That dog fountain's a nice credit to the urban. You know what? Everybody talks shit about Mayor Adams. Thank you, Mayor Eric Adams, for putting in this dog fountain water. Can't say he's all bad, guys. You cannot make that claim. Somebody yelling at me? No. Okay. They're yelling at their dogs. Cool. I could take, if you want to see some war, I could take the dog to the dog park. And he'll start trying to violently fight all the big dogs to the death. He's a tough son of a bitch. I've seen him lock arms and get in fights with pit bulls and stuff. They're neck and neck. I have to break it up. But they get their neck. He's a strong mofo. Because I found him on the street. He was a street dog for a year and a half before I picked him up off the street. He just went up to me while I was walking around in Mexico. He went up to me and nudged his head in my armpit. I'm like, oh, you're very manipulative. I guess you're coming with me. And I think he saw the one gringo in Mexico ever. You can go to the dog park if you want. You want to go to the dog park? You want to start some shit? It is cool, Ninja, yeah. Sometimes New York City does things pretty effectively. You don't have to, but you can. Let's go to the big one. Hey, Jamie, nice to have you. What's up? I would pet you, but then you get jealous. I'll pet you. It's fine. Hey, what up? How are you? How are you? How are you? Fine. Don't start no beef, thank you. You can smell it. Cool. Good times. You gotta get their smells in. That's actually a mellow dog. Well done. And he's like, I'm done with this. He's like, yeah, no. All right, guys, we got 42 people watching, so I'm gonna probably sign off. Nobody cares. Oh, now we got 56 people watching. Maybe I'll stay. Tell me if I should stay or not. You're very cool. Nice to meet you. Should I stay or should I go now? Put a 1 if I should stay. Put a 2 if I should go. Put a 3 if I should fart. I'm loving how you follow your dog versus your dog following you. Yes, he leads the way. He goes where the hell he wants. I have some general ideas, like I want to try to get into the river because he likes the river a lot. But he knows too, if he sees a thing of blue, he'll knows that it's the river. And he lets it go downstairs. And he usually knows the stairs equals some access point to a river. So he's been around the block so many times. Beautiful fall colors today. I don't know if we can get to the water, but we could try. This ain't Cincinnati, but we'll see if they have an access point. You might be disappointed. This ain't Winnipeg. When is the election? The election is November 3rd. Did you drive or take the train? We took the train. Took the train to the city. So the dog could go on Metro North. Maybe he's not supposed to, but nobody cares. A lot harder. Apparently, it's a lot harder for animals to go on Amtrak, which sucks, because that would be awesome, but oh well. Tell me if he looks fatter or skinnier than last time you saw him. He flew. Jetpack. Word. He's about to start some shit. One. Cool, thank you. Dodge, you always have a nice live stream. Thank you, NYC girl. Informative, entertaining. I appreciate it. Yeah, it makes the show. Analyze some stuff. Shoot the shit. Shoot the breeze. Talk a little bit. Glad you're enjoying it. Get him a Sir S. Yeah, that's a good. Hey. Stop. This is awkward. Hey. There we go. That works. Take him anywhere. Yeah, that's good. I should. I don't want to abuse it because he's not a service dog, but I should just do it. It's hard to get a cert thing, isn't it? I'd imagine. I can't tell Dodge I would need a side-by-side picture. That's fair. That is a fair need and assessment. See, now he's gonna be looking for an access point to drink from the water the whole entire time. And it doesn't matter. It's not that he even needs to drink, because he just had a long drink of water from that fountain. But he needs to submerge half of his body into actual water. And in other cities, there's usually an access point where you could submerge yourself in a smooth way. But here in New York City, I don't think there. I know one access point, because I used to live here in Gramercy, very East Gramercy, on the river on 20th Street, and they have a little beachy island, and you can access it through there. I used to swim in the East River. The East River, though, is worse because he wouldn't like the East River because it's salt water and not fresh water. He only likes fresh water. NYC, delicious food. Yeah, we'll get some good food while we're here. NYC has very good food. Yeah, it does. I mean, so do a lot of other big cities. Houston's great food. Dallas is great food. But yes, I mean, things that New York is uniquely good at is pizza. Pizza sucks everywhere else. Anybody who pizza's good in Boston. Pizza's good in Providence. Pizza's good, obviously, in New Haven, Connecticut. But that's it. Jersey, you go out of that area, you can't. Pizza's not edible. All you guys who think you're like, if you're in Denver and you're eating pizza, just take a look at your life and like, what are you doing? You can't eat pizza if you live in Denver. It's Beijing food. Yes, New York City has great Chinese food. Szechuan, a lot of Beijing. You get my dog. I'll probably buy my dog a whole roast duck today. Dog loves the whole roast duck. Again, there are great Chinatowns in Boston and Vancouver and Toronto and Montreal and DC and Calgary and even Saskatoon. But, NYC is great, and San Francisco, obviously, and of course Los Angeles. But New York City has a very good Chinatown too. I don't think New York City is the best Chinatown, though. In terms of the best food in Chinatown, it's going to be the West Coast. It's a competition because they were there longer. It's a competition between San Francisco and LA. I'd say San Francisco. Best pizza in Brooklyn, bagels and pizza. Yes. Best bagels in New York. You're not going to get a good bagel anywhere outside of New York City. That I can say with 100% certainty. That's probably what I'll eat today. I'll eat a bagel and schmear, bagel and lox. Sound pretty good. Yes, and Prop 50. I don't know what Prop 50 is. Tell me. What do you propose? Catching up on some of the old chats that I miss. I'm going to probably sign off relatively soon, guys. Please give me a super chat if you can. I'm poor. I need monies. I do this all out of love. See, the New York Post will pay people to tell their lies. Nobody's paying me shit. That's why I can tell the truth. But if you want to pay me to tell some lies, give me some money. I'm kidding. I would not accept that. Or would I? No, I wouldn't. I gotta take a piss. Do you want to see my dick? I'm kidding. I'm not gonna film that. All right. Is it open? I gotta go to the bathroom. I like that they have a bathroom here. Or maybe they don't. They only have a bathroom for... That's bullshit. They only have a women's bathroom. Fuck. Kosher Bialys. Yes, Bialys is very good. You know your stuff. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off. Love you all. Please subscribe. Bye.